Nice. Alright. Hey, what's up? Um, okay, so just doing a quick stream, basically to answer any questions about RTrack Falcon, account creation date estimates, and if anyone wants to see a game, because obviously you have to have a membership. If anyone's just interested in seeing a game, I'll show you a Game Pass if you're interested in seeing. Just this one time. So this is a one-time unique opportunity to see these games, these Game Passes, unless you want to pay for the pro subscription. And by the way, this is available on the pro subscription right now, if you do want to see it. And hello, Data Aspect. I think I already said that, but yeah. So basically, I'm taking any requests for Game Passes. You want to see a Game Pass, the stats for a Game Pass, or just answer any general questions about the RTrack Falcon or RTrack or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, this kind of thing I think is pretty interesting. So like, if I go to the game, yeah, go to the game page, and you can see. So it was created 2014. You can see that I'm poor. I've been buying. I would use the excuse that I just DevX, but I've actually been buying up Gucci limiteds. Because obviously they're going to the moon. It's an investment. Anyway, so this is created in 2014. This game, Murder Mystery 2. We look at the Game Pass. Look at the account creation date estimates. What year was it again? Sorry, 2014. Yeah. So you can see 2013 is actually the peak. Maybe this Game Pass came out. Well, it's one of the peaks. Maybe this Game Pass came out 2014. But if it's early 2014, most people are still going to have a 2013 account. And then still pretty high in 2014. You carries on 2015. I don't know why it's peaked in 2016. That's an interesting thing. Actually, the most likely thing is just because something worth taking into account is the fact that obviously in the background of all of this, the number of Roblox accounts is just absolutely skyrocketing here. I don't know if I have the graph somewhere, but it's, you know, it's I can remember off the top of my head, it's something like 2006. I'll just get the list actually, hang on. Make sure I'm not streaming my AWS. Alright, yeah, I mean, so like 2006, there were only 140,000 accounts. 2007, 1.9 million. 2008, 6 million. 2009, 14 million. You know, so we look at 2013, it looks like a big spike, and then 2016 is a little bit higher. But in actual fact, the percentage of the 2013 players would have been so much higher here. I almost wonder if I should put a second graph, or a bit like how I do here, you can toggle for the adjusted for the number of players there were at that time or something. But basically, there's a spike here, and there's a slightly big spike in 2016, but as a proportion of the total players at that time, the 2013 one is going to be huge, because 2016, there were, let's see, 2016 there were 200 million accounts on Roblox. 2013 there were only 54 million, so 4 times the amount. So this would have sold 4 times the amount in relative terms to the in 2016. So this is a Game Pass on Murder Mystery 2, which, as we looked at, was created in 2014. I think things like that's pretty interesting, to see kind of what's actually happened. Let me just go back to that 1 second. Because you look at the years afterwards, right, it started dying out, and even though the platform as a whole has really skyrocketed after 2016, the number of sales, or I mean, you can roughly call this the number of sales, has continued to go down. Just look at this game. I need to implement a way of just going straight to the game page. I know I haven't done that, but right now you have to search it. There you go. Okay, so look at the game itself. Say a year. Might take a second to load that, actually. Yeah, maybe a bit more than a second. Alright, well, not sure exactly what's going on there. Request failed. Okay, well, whatever. The point is it's had okay 104,000 active players. Not too bad. But this Game Pass has really died out in more recent years, and it's not because there's less players in those years or anything. 2021, I think, from my data, is the biggest year for Roblox ever in terms of the number of accounts. So it's just this Game Pass isn't doing as well as it was. If we go find another one, maybe I kind of want to see a newer game. So Visteria, hopefully there's data on this, doesn't embarrass me. So I mean, when did Visteria came out? 2018. I didn't know it came out in 2018. It's definitely newer than that. I think maybe they made the place in 2018. Anyway, okay, so it has got data on it. It hasn't got sales data for some reason. Doesn't look as complete, this data. Yeah, you can see it's pretty small, 7,000 sales. But 2015. Okay, so this is an interesting distribution then, in a way, because what we've basically got here is a big chunk of the players are from 2015, which maybe tells you about Visteria's player base. It could be a sampling issue because it is a very small Game Pass, but let's have a look at this one, for example. It's probably got even less sales, so I don't know how reliable this data will be. Yeah, it doesn't have anything actually. It does have the name, interestingly. So let's have a look at another game. Yeah, another game. Is Vistera open access, or I know I have access to it, but I might have paid for that. I'm not sure. All right, let's have a look at Lumen Legacy. Lumen Legacy isn't too old. 2015? How old am I? I thought this was like a new game. I'm pretty sure I can do that. Okay. Let's see. What was I looking at? Meteor event. Wait, that's the game. Alright, so the one with the most sales is this one, Experience Boost. And, here you go. Okay, so this game came out in 2015. Interestingly, the data peaks in 2015 as well. I don't know if it's really died out. I think it might have died out a little bit, because 6,000 players seems a lot lower than it was. And you can kind of see that in this data here. The later years, later accounts, a lot lower. But 2015, 2017, so I would guess, because the game came out in 2015, that means the game really peaked 2015, 2016, 2017 as well, actually, probably the whole of 2017, because this kind of data is a little bit delayed. Because if the game peaks in 2017, a lot of the players who are playing it are going to be 2016 players. So it probably means the game did well in 2016. 2014 is essentially the game doing well in 2015. Yeah, so between 2015 2017, I'd say, you could guess this game's peaked in. So yeah, I think this is pretty useful information, really. Looking at another one, advanced stat view. How much is this? 50 Robux, okay. You can see that Artrac V3 estimates is just all over the place, that's why it's crossed out. But this is essentially based on very recent data, so it sort of shows the recent movements of the Game Pass rather than overall long term, but it means it's very erratic. I might have to do something about that, I don't know, but it's at least not shown by default. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So this might just be a case of very small amount of data for this, but yeah, it's actually quite a similar trend, really. Starts to drop off 2017, 2018. Yeah. Let's see, anything else? I think I'll just do one more. This no one's really watching the stream, which is fair enough. Feel free to request game passes to if you want to see one. Is this new? Okay, this is a new game. Let's see. Oh, nothing at all. Okay. Let me get a game pass. Small one. Okay, in that case I'll just have to go directly to it. There might still be nothing because it is very new. When does this come out? June 26th. Oh, that's not long enough at all. That's like 6 days or something. Yeah, it's not going to have any data on it. Let's see. Superhero Tycoon. This game's been around for a while. Yeah. Oh wait, I just searched that in normal search. Alright, let's see. Thank you. Oh, these are all pretty big as well. Pretty expensive. That does not have a good rating. I'm not sure, but I think the server might be going a bit slowly right now. Seems like a bit of a lull. Yeah. Something I'm working on, but the server sometimes just drops out like this. Alright, looks like it's back. It's annoying though. Don't know why that happened. Is it back? Oh. There's just nothing's come up for it. I see. Yeah, this is the main server running like this. I'm not sure why. Anyway, yeah, I need to fix that. I don't know why it's happening. Alright, let's have a look. If this is gonna load, I'll have a look at it. Interested to see if I use an incognito window. Yeah, it's slowing down for me specifically, it looks like. I don't know why it does it. But occasionally, just a specific session will go incredibly slowly. If you use it a lot on one specific session, it will go really slowly. Oh well, okay. Oh, here you go. Beyond the under and over 13. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, yeah, subs world. Do the new account age estimates show data beyond the under and over 13 that Roblox shows for sponsors? Yeah. I'm not completely sure what you mean by that. Does Roblox tell you who, like, whether people under or over 13 use sponsors, or? So this is only for the Game Pass. The estimates for account ages that people who bought the Game Pass for the year they made their account. Nexus, how do you get the sales estimate? Do you use analytics when sales are public? So it's not really a public method. It's just a it's not public the way RTrack estimates this stuff. Just because, yeah, it's it's a proprietary thing I thought of, and I don't really want people copying the idea, essentially, or copying its. I mean, it's not like it's just a simple idea to copy, but there's no reason to share it, basically. So yeah, it's I can tell you what I will say publicly is it's not based on any kind of past data or like unrelated stats. So a lot of people think it might be based on the game's visits or players or favorites or ratings or something like that. None of that stuff plays into it. It just wouldn't be accurate to do that. And as you can see, there's past data here. This doesn't play into it either. It's all completely separate system. Yeah, subs world again. So Roblox sponsors tell us if it's under or over 13 when you get clicks for sponsors. Yeah, so this is it's account creation date estimates for the people. Well, it's estimates because obviously it's yeah, don't worry. So it's account creation date as in the people who bought the Game Pass, right? If you took every single person who bought the Game Pass, what percentage of them had an account that was created on this year or this year or this year or whatever the year is. So it's basically to show the distribution of the people who are buying the Game Pass. Quite often it can kind of tell you. I mean, quite often it's actually quite similar to sales. So I mean, it essentially is. So what this is saying is the percentage of sales that happened in each year. So you can see, how well the game did over a period of time. So for example, Jailbreak's Spot Pass, right? I think I tweeted this, but sorry, I think I tweeted this, but basically, Jailbreak, for example, came out in 2016, maybe. I just checked that. Not sure exactly when Jailbreak came out. No idea. Okay. Hey Chain. Yeah. So Jailbreak, game that came out in 2016, somewhere around there. You can see this pass peaked in 2016. A lot of them do peak in 2016 anyway, because 2016 kind of Roblox took off in 2016. But you can also see it did well 2015 because quite often it will be delayed by a year. April 2017. Okay. So what's that? Is that early 2017? Yeah, that's early 2017. So that's probably why it's peaked in 2016, because most of the accounts that are playing it are 2016 accounts. But you've still got some 2015 accounts left over, and you've still got these ones left over, but the peaks are here because there's a bit of a delay in the people. So yeah, and then you can see kind of, as we all know, Jailbreak dropped off a bit, and you can see that in the data here as well. Yeah, interesting question. So obviously, I think there's a lot of things. I think depends on what the situation you're in is. There's lots of different things you might be researching, lots of different kind of uh, viewpoints you're coming from. So uh, one thing I suppose that's useful is if you're the person who owns the game, you can look at this data and kind of figure out partially. So using a similar system, it will be part of RTrack Falcon the same way. There'll be very soon a per game thing, which will show up on the game dashboard only for pro users, which will show you this same data but for the game itself. So you can see, who are my players, what years did my players generally join in. I think it's also useful on a per Game Pass basis, even if you're the game owner, because you can see if your sales are dropping off. If it's not like you keep an eye on your sales, often normally, this is kind of like a sales graph. It's not perfect, but it kind of tells you how your pass is doing. It also might show you that older players buy certain game passes, younger players buy certain game passes, and it will also just tell you more about your player base in general. In terms of other people's games, I think a big thing is just figuring out, you can look at this data and you can see what kinds of players are buying a game pass, if the game pass is doing well right now, if it's active right now, this kind of thing. But I think a lot of the value from this is going to come on the per game data, so you'll be able to see account age estimates, or account creation date estimates, for players of games, and that should be a good sort of insight into the sorts of people who are playing the game, because obviously while the years aren't directly tied to the person's age, you can definitely kind of get a rough idea of the real, or you can sort of try to get at the real age of those people. So you can, if someone's got an account that's from 2015, then I think the youngest people join Roblox is like 6 or 7, really. So you can say they're probably at least 12 or 13. That's kind of the demographic of the people who are playing the game. This kind of thing. And if it's a 2021 account, it's probably a lot more likely that those players are much younger. But it's not for sure. It's kind of the closest that we can get right now to actually having insights into players' ages. Yeah, I have no idea, Chain. I didn't know they were removing popular games from the front page. Do you mean the sort? I think they've been looking at doing that for a while, but yeah, maybe they don't know. It's still there. I think it's just because they don't want to keep the kind of self-reinforcing loop of games on Roblox, which is where games that are already popular, it's a lot easier for them to stay popular, and games that aren't popular yet sort of get pushed back because they're not on the front page. That's, if Roblox wants to improve discoverability, it's a big thing they kind of have to do. Yeah, so these are all percentages. This is all percentages of the whole. That's what these are. So this means 20% of players, or 20% of the people who own this Game Pass, this SWAT Game Pass, have an account created in 2016, basically. Yeah, Chain, I haven't heard that. I don't think that's true. Wouldn't really make any sense to me. If you mean they're not showing up on the sorts, probably they just don't qualify for the sorts. Or, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't work at Roblox, so I don't know how the sorts work. So probably best to ask someone from Roblox or just wait and see. But they've definitely been making changes for a long time to make it so that it's not just based on how many players your game has. Yeah, I mean, is it possible to pay with PayPal? Not right now. That's a very highly requested thing, paying with PayPal. I understand why. It's just very difficult to maintain two different payment providers side by side, and I haven't got around to kind of making that possible. Right now you have to pay with Stripe. But yeah, on that thing about sorts, I just looked at the popular sort, and I can see Adopt Me here, and I can see Jailbreak here, but Adopt Me and Jailbreak aren't doing as well as normal. I mean, like Brookhaven is the biggest one here, on the largest game by concurrent. So it could literally just be that they're not doing as well as they used to, so they're lower down the sorts. Yeah, feel free to request game passes or ask any other questions. I don't know what that is. TR coding development. Oh, row meet. Oh, is that Scripton's game? Oh no, it's not. Okay, that's not Scripton's game. Aggregate games and look at average stats like average play times across the top X games. Yeah, so I want to make some more tools like in that area so you can kind of do, yeah, aggregated stuff, so you can sort of search through games as a aggregate and see how entire genres and things are doing. Just trying to think what the closest you can do to that is. There's the, yeah, so I mean, I recently added this tool, which isn't what you're looking for, but the kind of back-end work that went into it was done to kind of enable what you're talking about. So with this, whoops, you can search for games by their genres, their like ratios, and all this stuff. It will find you a game, and for all this to be possible, there's a massive database with all of these, with the genre and the like ratios and the player counts and everything, all updated live. So what you're talking about is possible to implement now, because I've done kind of the back end work for it, and this is kind of the progression towards it. Just kind of a big thing is figuring out what that looks like and what the best way of doing that is. I think it's going to be a pretty complicated tool, and I want to make it as basic to use as possible and also as powerful as possible. So that's why it's taking a while, but that kind of thing will definitely be possible soon. Do you know how the Roblox algorithm works? How they recommend games to players? Yeah, I have no idea. I think they have people working on recommendations, so I've seen like people are in hired specifically for it, but I don't know how they do it, to be honest. Oh, interesting question. What inspired me to make RTrack? Well, I'm a Roblox developer. There wasn't enough data really for me, and kind of once I got started and I started thinking of new systems and ideas and ways of estimating and calculating things, I just kind of got stuck on it. And I'm sure if I'd just spent the last, well, I haven't been working on this full time or anything for 2 years, but RTrack's been around for 2 years, I think, almost 2 years now, and I spent many thousands of hours on it. Actually, that's not true. I think it's about 1,000 plus hours, and I'm sure if I'd spent that time making games or something, I would have made more money. But this is what I'm interested in. I think this is going to be more important as well as time goes on. This kind of service, and yeah, I think that it wasn't being provided. People want to see the data. People want to do the market research, figure out what they should do with their games, what they should do with their game passes, what games they should make, what's doing well, what isn't doing well, analyze their own games, all this stuff. And Roblox wasn't and still isn't, for the most part, providing the tools for it. So that's really what made me do it and sort of carry on working on it. Fun fact, or maybe not so fun, but little fact is that the membership fees on Artrac don't cover so that the money I make from membership fees don't cover the core costs or the operating costs of the servers and things. I think it's actually about half as much. But Artrac as a whole does break even, mainly from Artrac's sister site, which is called RTrack Social, which is like a game codes and stuff, and that makes up for the difference. But yeah, so it's really just a passion project, RTrack, but hopefully long term more people will use it. I can check that game pass. Yeah, let's see. Tower of Hell, okay. Yeah, so when did Tower of Hell come out? Let's see. Because your name is So, I keep reading So before your messages, like, so can you check this game pass? So is it possible to pay with PayPal? Anyway, yeah, so created 2018, okay. Yeah, so that's interesting because there's literally no one before 2016, and you can see it was 2018, right? Yeah, I think this is actually a really good example because, as I said, it's often delayed. So you can see a spike in 2017 because if the game launches in 2018, a lot of the accounts are going to be from 2017 that are playing it, and then you get carry on, and then obviously Tower of Hell's doing really well. 2021, it's taken off even more. This is a different time span, but you can see they're actually continuing to do very well. Yeah, that's not right, but you can see they're continuing to do well. Here, this is from beginning, well, mid 2020. I wonder how much that is in real money. It's actually not a huge amount from what I can think. I don't know how much that is exactly, but the average Game Pass price on Roblox. So I don't know. There's a lot of different Game Passes, but I did integrate features for this into Falcon because I knew these kind of averages are useful. So if you do the example search VIP and you look at insights here, whoops, look at insights. Give it a second to load. It'll tell you, right? So the average price for a VIP Game Pass is 208 Robux. I might be able to just search nothing. I don't think it will let me though. Oh, I can. Okay, let's see if it updates it. Yeah, I don't think it's updated it because I haven't put anything in. Yeah, so I don't know what the average is. It won't tell me here. Yeah, thank you. It's a big feature for this kind of average stuff you're looking for. So that's right. So if you're looking to make a new Game Pass, say I was going to make a custom. Whoops. Sorry about that. So I was going to make a I don't know, something to do with RGB, right? Got RGB. Okay, well there's only one Game Pass for that, so that's not very good. But say I was going to make a cape Game Pass, what about that? There you go. So I can figure out, is it based on your search? Yeah, it's so right, so we have cape here. It's found, I don't know why it says 6. Oh, it's because, yeah, so there's 6 Game Passes with that keyword in. These other ones are just because Flat Escape has the word cape in it. But the ones with actually cape, there's only 6 of those. Average price is 81 Robux. You can see how well these Game Passes do. The average sales rank, so you can see it's a pretty sort of high Game Pass, but not really. Actually 1,684 isn't that great. And the total amount of money people have made from it, etc., etc. Would be cool if you integrated a global average Game Pass price. Yeah, it would be cool. The issue with that kind of thing is weighting, really. So like that's like WEIGHT, because some Game Passes do really well, some Game Passes don't do well, and factoring them all in to give you an average price isn't really representative of the average Game Pass price on Roblox. The good news is that I'm always kind of thinking ahead with Artrac's data and Artrac's data collection. So all the data Artrac collects is kind of as much as possible future-proof in that way. So that there should be ways of kind of going back and doing these insights on that data. How does Artrac index games? So Artrac indexes every game with players. So the threshold is 1 player. A good rule of thumb is really if you have 1 player for more than, say, a few minutes. So 10 minutes probably good. 10 minutes 1 player, and it will show up. The graph won't look very good because if you just have 1 player for a couple of seconds, it's gonna be a pretty bad graph. But it will show up. Yeah, I don't know why that message got held to review. Here we go. I will look at that Game Pass. Let me see. So I'll look at this. This is my game. It's not doing very well. And I'll show you what I mean with the low player counts. So yeah, here we go. So you get this kind of graph when the player counts are low and kind of up and down and everything. You get this kind of jaggedy graph, but it does track it. That's not right, unless something's gone very badly wrong. Let's see, what's this Game Pass? G18 permanent, okay. Yeah, so this high uncertainty Game Pass, so it might not be very accurate. If you want to read this, you can pause the video. It basically just says this Game Pass isn't, the estimate is likely to be not as accurate. High charts is better. What happened? Oh right, yeah, because the jaggedy graphs, yeah, it's not very good. Okay, yeah, so as it said, high uncertainty. You can see, I think it might have actually fallen under the amount that it knows there are. So that's kind of one of the reasons for this high uncertainty stuff. Yeah, it says, and it looks like there's only one. It looks like it's only estimating 1 year here. So yeah, it's not very good because it's such a small Game Pass. This kind of thing. the data's not very accurate. Doesn't even have a v3 estimate. But yeah, there is some data here, and this is the old data. You can see it's pretty jaggedy there. Yeah. This is a proprietary system Artrac uses, so it's nothing to do with Roblox. Doesn't release this data. It's not from Roblox. It's estimated by Artrac, the Game Pass sales. Yeah. So the you say is it not accurate? The Game Pass sales can be very inaccurate. A lot of them are pretty close. So in terms of CSV data, you can export normal game data, like if for any game actually. If you have a Pro subscription, you can export CSV data. So like this, download CSV, and you can just click download. But for Falcon right now, you can't download the data. It's just some data is, some data isn't downloadable. That might change. If you let me know what the reason would be for using it, I can think about adding that. And no need to say sorry for the questions. It's a Q&A. This is Artrac social game passcodes. You can see Artrac social here. Although I don't know if you want to see it. It's got reviews. Oh, there aren't any reviews. Game codes, comments. Yeah, that's what this number is. This is how many people are on any game on Roblox right now. 4.6 million. Cool. So I think last questions, if anyone has any, and then probably end the stream. But yeah, this is the total here and everything. It's just on the front page. Oh yeah, I just had to refresh. Short question. Yeah, it's the same membership system. You can use it on this website. Just sign in with the same Google account. Yeah, just email me. Here's the email address. But yeah, the the memberships do carry across. It's the same membership system, so you can just sign into the new website. Cool. Yeah, if you upgrade to Pro, send an email anyway to cancel your basic subscription if that's what you have. Not at the moment. Subsworld, I don't think. Well, I don't have any methods for really getting any of that kind of data. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Maybe in the very long term, there's some very complicated systems that could possibly do it, but it's gonna take a lot of resources for that. So it's not in the foreseeable future on the dev products. Cool. Yeah, so if there's no more questions, I think I'll end the stream here, and feel free, anyone, to join the Discord, and I'll put a link in the chat. If you want to ask any more questions, you can put them in general or in the help desk or whatever, depending on what the question is. Just make it a new. There you go. No problem. Thanks for checking it out. Cool. Alright, bye everyone. Have a great day.